Fluorescent lights hummed as Emily pushed through the emergency doors, and the rain on her coat felt like a second skin she could not shed. Emily said, "Please, tell me he is breathing." The hall narrowed into a tunnel of cold air and antiseptic hope. Dr. Harris met her eyes, steady and unreadable, and the monitors behind him cast moving stars on the floor. Dr. Harris said, "We are stabilizing him, but he needs IQ now." The words clipped the air like shears. Emily said, "Do whatever it takes." Her chest pulled tight, and the ceiling seemed lower with each step. She saw Liam's lashes tremble and felt the world tilt. Nurse Kayla said, "We have him." Emily nodded because falling would break the spell. A gurney unlocked with a metallic snap, and time wobbled. Emily said, "I am here, baby, I am right here." The doors swung again, and fear spilled in like wind. Morning crept in with the scent of burnt toast and crayons, and Emily packed a lunch with the precision of someone counting breaths. Liam said, "Do we still go to the park later?" Emily said, "After homework and brave hearts." The kettle clicked off, and steam curled like a promise she wanted to keep. Bills leaned against the fruit bowl like quiet judges. Emily said, "We are a team, champ." Hope rose and fell with the hum of the fridge. She checked the time twice and tied her hair again as if that could tie the day. Liam said, "You look tired." Emily said, "I look determined." The word felt like armor. She kissed his forehead and traced a map of tomorrow in her mind. The phone buzzed, and a new worry threaded the room. Evening slowed to amber, while cartoons muttered in the next room. Daniel came in late, smelling of rain and gasoline, and dropped his keys like a confession. Daniel said, "Work ran over." Emily said, "Dinner is in the oven." His phone vibrated twice and did not stop. A name flashed too fast to catch, then vanished. Emily said, "How was the sight?" Daniel said, "Loud and messy." The words sat between them like unopened mail. Liam laughed from the couch, and the sound punctured the hush. Emily said, "He asked for you." Daniel said, "Tomorrow, I will read to him." The promise hovered with the steam from reheated pasta. The phone buzzed again, and Daniel turned the screen away. The room cooled by a few quiet degrees. The diner smelled of coffee and old songs, and the neon sign blinked like a tired eye. Emily refilled cups and counted tips by feel. Maya slid beside her with a grin that hid a bruise of worry. Maya said, "You holding up?" Emily said, stitching days together. Plates clattered, and a trucker laughed too loud. Maya said, "Call me if the night turns heavy." Emily said, "I will." The bell over the door chimed, and rain breathed in. A news report murmured about rising costs, and the word felt personal. Emily said, "He keeps secrets from silence." Maya said, "Secrets hate the light." The advice tucked itself into Emily's pocket like a folded note. The clock hands ran. Midnight pooled in corners as Emily sorted laundry on the kitchen floor. A second phone slid from Daniel's jacket and tapped the tile like a knock from the dark. Emily said, "What is this?" The screen lit with a message that knew his name too well. Daniel said, "Work, emergency phone." His voice tried for casual and missed. Emily said, "Then why a passcode I do not know." Silence dragged a chair and sat between them. A voicemail icon pulsed like a heartbeat she could not slow. Daniel said, "You are tired, Em." The words felt like a door closing. Emily said, "I am tired of guessing." The kettle clicked on because she needed a sound. The message waited, and so did the night. The morning broke with a pale sky, and Emily folded bills at the counter, each one a reminder of how thin survival had become. Liam coughed in the next room, a hollow sound that stole her breath. Emily said, "You need rest, champ, not cartoons." His voice cracked as he answered, "I feel fine, Mom," but the lie clung to the air. She pressed a thermometer under his arm, watching the seconds crawl like ants. Daniel rushed in, tie loosened, voice sharp. Daniel said, "I cannot be late again, Em." She wanted to scream that lateness was not the threat. It was the heat rising from their son's forehead. Emily said, "He needs a doctor." Daniel's jaw tightened as he reached for his keys, choosing departure over the argument. The silence he left behind was heavier than his words. Emily kissed Liam's damp curls and whispered, "We fight this together." The phone call to the clinic became her battlefield, and she swore not to let the cost of care be the reason hope slipped away. The clinic's waiting room hummed with coughs, murmurs, and the sterile smell of disinfectant. Emily balanced Liam on her lap, feeling the fever seep through his small frame. The receptionist said, "Insurance card." Emily fumbled, words tumbling. Emily said, I just need him seen." The woman's eyes softened, but protocol held her lips firm. Liam rested his head on her shoulder, eyelids heavy, and Emily kissed his temple as though love could lower the numbers on the chart. A child nearby wailed, and the sound knifed through her nerves. Maya called from across the seats, her coat damp with rain. Maya said, "I can cover the copay. Don't argue." Emily blinked back tears, shame burning hotter than gratitude. Emily said, "I will pay you back." Maya shook her head, gaze steady. Maya said, "You will pay me by not breaking." The nurse opened the door, calling Liam's name, and Emily rose with the weight of a soldier carrying her world on fragile arms. In the sterile exam room, Liam lay small against crisp white sheets, monitors echoing his breaths. Dr. Harris scanned the chart, frown etching deeper lines into his forehead. Dr. Harris said, "He needs tests. We cannot wait." Emily's voice broke as she asked, "What kind of tests?" The words expensive and urgent fell into the space between them like stones. Liam stirred, eyelids fluttering, whispering, "Mom, I do not want needles." Emily smoothed his curls, fighting the tremor in her hands. She said, "I am here, always." Dr. Harris lowered his voice, "Prepare yourself. It could be more than a fever." The fluorescent lights hummed louder, and Emily's chest tightened like a fist. She thought of Daniel's absence, of bills unpaid, of secrets unspoken. Hope thinned, but her resolve thickened. Emily said, "Do what you must. I will find a way." Her reflection in the stainless tray looked like a stranger, tired, fierce, unyielding. Rain drummed steady as Emily walked the dim hospital corridor, paperwork pressed to her chest like a shield. Numbers blurred, cost estimates, treatment schedules, signatures required. Emily said, "How do I buy time when time is what they are selling?" A vending machine blinked neon beside her, mocking with its cheap solutions. Maya appeared again, breathless, umbrella dripping. Maya said, "Daniel should be here, not you alone." Emily shook her head, her voice sharper than intended. Emily said, "He has his own shadows to chase." Maya sighed, "You should not carry this storm alone." Emily's throat tightened. She said, "I do not have a choice." The hum of the corridor lights cast halos on the linoleum. For a moment, Emily leaned into the wall, letting it hold what her spine could not. The paperwork bent in her hands, and with it the illusion of control. She whispered, "He cannot see me fall." At home the storm had followed her inside. Emily sat on the kitchen floor, bills spread like jagged puzzle pieces. The second phone still lay on the counter, its black screen daring her to press. Emily whispered, "If truth hurts, why does silence feel worse?" Liam coughed from his room, and she forced herself up, smoothing her face before entering. He asked softly, "Are we okay, Mom?" Emily smiled through cracks. She said, "We are fighters, remember?" He nodded, too tired to question. Later, Daniel slipped in, shoes wet, avoiding her eyes. Emily said, "He is sick, and you are gone." Daniel muttered, "I am working to cover this." She pressed the bills into his hands, paper biting her palms. Emily said, "Work is not the only thing you are covering." His silence answered louder than denial. She closed the door to Liam's room, and whispered to the dark, "We are breaking, and he cannot see." Sunlight spilled across the living room, warming the edges of chaos. Emily sat cross-legged on the rug, bills stacked like mountains, pen in hand, lips pressed tight. Liam peeked around the doorway, still pale, eyes wide. Emily said, "Breakfast first, then we face the numbers." He nodded slowly, shuffling to the table, slippers dragging. Daniel appeared at the doorway, tie loosened, eyes wary. Emily said, "Sit, talk, don't just stand there." Daniel hesitated, then joined them, fingers brushing Liam's curls. They ate quietly, each bite measured, each sip a silent agreement to endure. Emily whispered, "One step at a time." Liam smiled faintly, trusting her entirely. The kitchen smelled faintly of toast and determination. Outside the city moved on, indifferent, but inside, they built a fragile bubble of hope. At the pediatric clinic, Emily clutched Liam's hand, fingers entwined like lifelines. The nurse smiled gently. "You are doing great." Liam's voice trembled. "Does it hurt?" Emily said, "Only a little. Then we are done." The needle glinted, a small threat, and Liam squeezed her hand. Emily said softly, "Breathe with me." The monitor beeped steadily as the test proceeded. Each beep echoed through Emily's chest. She thought of unpaid bills, of Daniel's distracted eyes, of the world beyond these walls. Yet she refused to let fear dictate their day. Liam's small hand relaxed, bravery slowly taking root. Emily said, "See? You were stronger than the needle." Liam's smile, fragile but proud, became her armor. Outside, sunlight pooled in the hallway, promising something fragile, something real. Evening wrapped the city in purple haze as Emily returned home, Liam asleep in her arms. Daniel met her at the door, worry softening into relief. Emily said, "He's tired, but he's okay." Daniel's voice broke. "I should have been here earlier." Emily shook her head. "You were working, protecting. That counts too." They moved through the apartment, quiet, careful not to wake Liam. Bills on the table seemed less threatening in the dim light. Emily said, "We survived together." Daniel nodded, setting down his briefcase, brushing crumbs from the counter. They shared a look of silent understanding. The apartment, small and cluttered, felt more like home now. Outside, city lights shimmered, indifferent, but within these walls, a fragile truce held them together. The weekend arrived, bringing errands, laughter, and fleeting peace. Emily packed a small backpack for a park visit, her eyes catching every detail, ensuring nothing was forgotten. Liam bounced beside her, voice bright, "Can we feed the ducks?" Emily laughed, tension easing for the first time in days. Daniel followed with camera in hand, documenting the small joys. Emily said, "Smile for the memory, not the struggle." Liam grinned, and even Daniel's shoulders relaxed. They left the apartment, stepping into golden afternoon light, city noises softened by distance. The world felt less threatening, less urgent. Emily whispered to herself, "This is enough for now." In their hands, small hope flickered, fragile yet resilient, lighting every corner of their shared journey. Night fell, wrapping the city in quiet. Emily tucked Liam into bed, brushing curls from his forehead. Liam whispered, "I am okay now, Mom." Emily said, "Yes, love, you are." Daniel stood at the doorway, watching silently. Emily turned, eyes meeting his. "We did it together." Daniel stepped closer, placing a hand on her shoulder. "We did." Outside, the streets hummed faintly, indifferent to their victory. Inside, their small apartment glowed with warmth and relief. Emily breathed deeply, letting exhaustion and gratitude settle together. For once, fear loosened its grip, leaving them a fragile but real peace. Liam slept soundly, unaware of battles fought, only knowing love surrounded him. Emily whispered softly, "Tomorrow we rise again." Rain tapped gently against the apartment window, a rhythm that echoed Emily's restless mind. She paced the living room, glancing at scattered papers and the silent phone. Liam built a fortress of pillows nearby, murmuring softly to himself, "I know." Daniel entered quietly, holding 2 steaming mugs. Emily said, "I can't stop thinking about what comes next." Daniel set a mug in front of her. We handled it together, like always. She sighed, brushing a strand of hair from her face. Sometimes, I wonder if it's enough. Liam peeked up, eyes wide. It is if we try. Daniel smiled faintly. Exactly. They drank in silence, letting the storm outside mirror the tension within. Emily finally said, tomorrow we plan. Tonight we breathe. The rain continued, persistent yet comforting, like a lullaby for their weary hearts. Morning broke with a muted sun, piercing gray clouds. Emily organized a small list of errands, scanning each line carefully. Liam tugged at her sleeve. Can we go to the library first? She nodded, smiling briefly. Yes, we'll make it fun. Daniel adjusted his bag, following quietly, eyes scanning the street outside. They stepped out, puddles reflecting the city's monotone mood. Cars splashed past as umbrellas bobbed like colorful mushrooms. Emily said, stay close, watch the wet pavement. Liam held her hand tightly, skipping slightly. Daniel's camera hung idle, forgotten for once. They navigated the wet streets together, each step an affirmation, each shared glance a reassurance. In the library, rows of books towered like silent guardians. Liam ran his fingers along the spines, whispering titles as though reading secrets. Emily knelt beside him. Choose what excites you. Every page is a new adventure. Daniel observed quietly, leaning against a shelf, a small smile tugging at his lips. Liam selected a thick book, eyes gleaming. This one. Emily took it, brushing dust from the cover. Good choice, brave explorer. Daniel adjusted his stance, watching their tiny world unfold. The sunlight filtered through tall windows, dust motes dancing. Emily breathed in the quiet, savoring it, a rare pause from chaos. Each turn of a page felt sacred, each shared smile a treasure. Evening came, and the family gathered in the small kitchen again. Emily chopped vegetables with calm precision, a rhythmic meditation. Liam sat on the counter, dangling legs, asking about each ingredient. Daniel stirred sauce gently, adding salt, tasting cautiously. Emily said, cooking together makes everything lighter. Liam giggled, spilling a tiny bit of sauce. Oops. Daniel chuckled. Messes are part of the process. Emily smiled, tension softening around her eyes. They talked about books, streets, clouds, mundane details that somehow stitched them closer. Outside, streetlights flickered against early darkness. But inside, warmth radiated, filling empty corners, healing invisible wounds. Night deepened as the family gathered on the living room sofa, soft blankets draped around shoulders. Emily read aloud from Liam's new book, voice steady and warm. Liam leaned into her, eyes wide with fascination. Daniel sipped tea quietly, listening, occasionally glancing at Emily with gratitude. Outside, rain had ceased, leaving the city slick and gleaming. Emily paused, looking at both of them. We did well today. Liam yawned, voice small. Tomorrow will be fun too, right? Emily kissed his forehead. Yes, love, always. Daniel nodded silently, feeling a quiet pride. Peace, fragile but tangible, filled the apartment, lingering long after the book's last page. The morning sunlight spilled across the park, warm and gentle. Emily stretched, her fingers brushing the grass as Liam ran ahead, laughing. Daniel trailed behind, camera swinging loosely at his side. Emily called softly, careful near the pond. Liam paused, turning, eyes sparkling. I'm careful, I promise. Daniel chuckled, capturing the fleeting moment, a smile tugging at his lips. Birds darted between branches, their songs harmonizing with the laughter. Emily felt the weight of past worries ease slightly. The city beyond the park remained distant, unimportant for now. Liam picked up a fallen leaf, examining its veins. Look, it's like a tiny map. Emily nodded. Maps are for adventures, just like this day. Daniel adjusted his camera, framing the scene like a memory in motion. They settled under a large oak tree, picnic blanket spread. Liam munched on sandwiches, occasionally offering crumbs to nearby squirrels. Emily leaned back, enjoying the quiet. It's nice to pause sometimes. Daniel nodded. Moments like this remind us why we keep moving forward. Liam waved a hand, crumbs falling. I like this pause. Emily laughed softly, brushing crumbs from his sleeve. Pauses can be adventures too. Daniel sipped water, watching them interact. The sunlight played on Emily's face, highlighting the gentle curve of her smile. Liam's laughter rang through the park again, pure and unburdened. Emily felt a rare calm, the weight of challenges softened by this simple family closeness. Afternoon brought a gentle breeze, rustling leaves above. Emily and Liam chased shadows across the grass, laughter echoing. Daniel walked slowly, capturing candid frames, the light shifting across his lens. Emily called, "Watch the fountain." Liam stopped, just in time, grinning. Daniel crouched, perfect shot. They paused near the water, reflections shimmering like tiny worlds. Emily sighed. Even small moments feel monumental with you both. Liam twirled in excitement. Everything's big if we play. Daniel smiled, lowering the camera, feeling the fullness of this day. Sunlight began to fade, leaving golden streaks across the park, a quiet promise of evening. As dusk approached, the city skyline glimmered behind them. Emily held Liam's hand tightly, feeling the cool breeze. Daniel set the camera aside, embracing the silence. "We made it through everything," Emily murmured. Liam tilted his head. "Does it mean happy endings exist?" Emily smiled, brushing his hair. "They do if we make them." Daniel nodded, "And we keep building them, day by day." The park emptied slowly, leaving them a quiet sanctuary. Fireflies began their dance, flickering in the evening air. Emily closed her eyes, savoring the calm, the laughter, the closeness. Liam yawned, resting against her shoulder. Daniel wrapped an arm around them both, the city lights casting long, gentle shadows. Night fell fully, stars appearing overhead. Emily, Daniel, and Liam walked toward home, their silhouettes framed by lamplight. Liam held both their hands, murmuring, "Today was perfect." Emily smiled. "Every day can be perfect if we stay together." Daniel glanced at the sky, "And we remember these moments." They paused briefly, the quiet hum of the city around them, their shadows stretching long. Emily whispered, "Here's to tomorrow." Liam yawned again, "And the next adventure." Daniel squeezed their hands always. Together they stepped forward, leaving footprints on wet pavement, carrying the warmth of family and hope into the night. Dawn painted the horizon in soft pinks and oranges. Emily stretched by the window, sunlight brushing her face. Daniel brewed coffee, steam curling into the morning air. Liam, still groggy, rubbed his eyes and yawned, "Good morning." Emily smiled. A new day, a fresh start. Daniel placed a mug beside her. Moments like these matter most. Liam wandered to the balcony, watching birds flit between rooftops. Emily joined him, breathing in the crisp air. "Do you feel the day beginning?" Liam nodded, wide-eyed. "It feels like anything can happen." Daniel laughed softly, capturing the glow in their eyes. The room glimmered with warmth, a quiet promise of adventures yet to come. Breakfast table smelled of fresh bread and fruit. Liam jabbed playfully at his pancakes. "Mine is the biggest." Emily laughed, pouring juice. "Size doesn't matter, but taste does." Daniel set his camera aside, observing the small family rituals. "These moments anchor us." Liam grinned, syrup dripping from his fingers. "I want more adventures." Emily nodded, "And we'll have them, together." Daniel raised a toast with his coffee, "To mornings like this." Liam giggled, "To pancakes too." They all laughed. A bubble of warmth and love filling the kitchen. Emily felt a rare serenity, knowing that the simplest moments could hold the greatest joy. Late morning brought a gentle drizzle outside. Emily and Liam danced near the open door, their laughter mingling with raindrops. Daniel recorded from inside, adjusting the lens. "This is perfect chaos." Liam twirled. "Rain is magic." Emily joined him, stepping lightly in puddles, magic and joy all around. Daniel smiled, capturing candid smiles and wet hair sticking to Liam's forehead. They paused under the awning, catching their breath, drenched but happy. Emily hugged Liam close. Every storm is a chance to dance. Daniel nodded, and every moment is a memory. Rain blurred the city skyline, framing them in a soft, cinematic haze. Afternoon sunlight returned, glinting off wet streets. Emily suggested a walk, Liam jumping eagerly. Let's find puddles to splash. Daniel followed, camera swinging. I'll capture every moment. They wandered the neighborhood, discovering tiny joys, a bird taking flight, a dog chasing a ball, children laughing. Emily felt the weight of the past months dissolve. Liam pointed to a rainbow forming in the clouds. It's magic again. Daniel chuckled. The universe has its own way of showing us beauty. Emily squeezed their hands. We just need to notice it. Footsteps echoed softly on wet pavement, their laughter blending with the returning warmth. Evening settled with a tranquil glow. They returned home, tired but happy, the scent of dinner drifting in. Liam rested on Emily's shoulder, murmuring, "Today was the best day ever." Emily kissed his hair. Every day has magic if we notice it. Daniel set the camera aside, feeling a deep gratitude, and we create that magic together. They moved through the home, lights dimmed, cozy and serene. Outside, stars twinkled faintly above the city skyline. Emily whispered, "Here's to many more days like this." Liam yawned, drifting to sleep. Daniel watched them, heart full, yes, together, always. Night enveloped the city, carrying the warmth of family into quiet serenity. Morning mist hovered over the park as Emily, Daniel, and Liam stepped onto the damp grass. Liam's small boots left prints as he ran ahead, laughing, "Catch me." Emily chuckled, jogging behind him, hair bouncing, "I'm right behind you." Daniel carried a camera bag, adjusting his lens to capture the soft light filtering through the trees. Birds chirped in harmony, adding rhythm to their footsteps. Emily paused near a pond, touching the water's surface. "It feels alive here." Liam pointed to a family of ducks swimming. "Look at them go." Daniel knelt to frame the scene. These little moments matter. The trio shared a smile, fully present in the serene morning. They discovered a small hidden garden behind the park, blossoms glistening with dew. Liam crouched to examine a ladybug, whispering, "It's tiny but brave." Emily smiled, kneeling beside him. Every little thing has its place and story. Daniel captured candid moments, framing Liam's curiosity. Sunlight pierced through the branches, creating golden streaks. Emily picked a wildflower, twirling. Even the smallest bloom can light up a day. Liam giggled. "I want to find more magic." Daniel laughed, "And we will together." Their laughter blended with soft bird calls, a melody of exploration and wonder. Afternoon brought clouds and a gentle breeze. Emily suggested flying a kite, and Liam cheered, "Yes, let's make it soar." They ran across the open field, kite snapping against the wind. Daniel chased behind, laughing, "Steady, steady." Emily held the string tightly, teaching Liam, "Control it gently." Liam grinned, letting it rise, eyes sparkling. "It's flying." Daniel captured the motion, sunlight breaking through clouds, illuminating their faces. Emily felt a rush of joy, watching Liam's excitement. Wind and laughter intertwined, creating a symphony of happiness. The sky seemed limitless, reflecting their boundless energy. As evening approached, they found a quiet hill overlooking the city. Liam sprawled on the grass, pointing at the skyline. "Everything looks tiny from up here." Emily sat beside him, holding his hand. "Perspective changes everything." Daniel leaned back, camera resting on knee, "And it's beautiful." The golden hour bathed the city in amber light, reflections glittering in windows. Emily breathed deeply. Moments like these remind us of what truly matters. Liam hugged both parents. "I love this view. I love today." Daniel smiled, capturing the serene scene. The sun slowly dipped, leaving warmth and peace behind. Night fell, stars twinkling above. They returned home, lights soft, the city humming quietly. Liam yawned, cuddled against Emily, murmuring, "Today was perfect." Emily stroked his hair, whispering, "And tomorrow will be too." Daniel poured tea, setting mugs on the table. Family makes every day brighter. They sat together, watching the city lights flicker. Emily felt a deep contentment, knowing these memories would last forever. Liam closed his eyes, dreams ready to carry him away. Daniel held Emily's hand, always together. Silence wrapped them in gentle serenity, the night cradling their joy.